guys, so we went and saw Aquaman.
I am Aquaman.
I never heard that in the movie.
It's that song. I am Aquaman. It's Iron Man, though. Okay. But anyway, that's a whole nother universe. And that's another story.
I really enjoyed the movie overall. Visually, really great.
Yeah, this movie rekindled some hope I have for the DC universe as a whole. We saw with the one movie, Wonder Woman they made, that was really good.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's kind of been mostly misses.
Right.
And so to see them take a character like Aquaman, who I would argue is below other characters that they could have made movies about, and make a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about to see where this goes.
I think sometimes it's easier to make a movie about maybe a less important character.
Yeah, like Marvel did that with Iron Man.
Yeah.
And Iron Man was a huge hit. And it was an awesome movie, but nobody expected Iron Man to be a good movie because it's Iron Man. Kind of same thing here with Aquaman.
Well, yeah, and you have nothing else to live up to. Yeah, they haven't made a Batman movie yet. It's really hard to live up to the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, it's like you were saying that it's the bar. For all superhero movies, that trilogy is the bar. And I don't see
if you made a Batman movie, like, wow, like it's really hard to live up to that. So I can almost see how it might be easier. Like with Aquaman, what'd you have to live up to? And like they took Aquaman and then made him, different than what you might expect, I guess, from the comic book.
He's like a cool biker, like hipster Aquaman.
Yeah.
I like it. It worked out well. I like the lead, Jason Momoa. And he did a good job.
Yeah.
I like you're right, it was visually spectacular.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed watching the film.
What do you say for the people? Go, wait, or skip?
I was like, go see this movie. It's, especially if you like the superhero genre. Mm-hmm. If you're disappointed at a lot of the other DC films that they've made, this is the one that will rekindle hope in your heart like mine.
I'm also going to say go see this movie. Even if you don't like the superhero genre of movie, I still think that this is a good, fun movie to go see. Yeah. So if you don't know like anything else, like you don't need to know anything else about superheroes and the DC universe and all that for this movie.
Right. It's a good standalone movie.
Yeah, good standalone movie. If you can't get past, I guess maybe some of the like pretty wild superhero kind of stuff, then maybe that's like this isn't the kind of fiction for you.
If you're an anti-CGI bigot, this movie's not for you.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was a really fun movie, and so you should go see it.
Spoilers, Hero Edition. We didn't know going to see this movie, but it takes place after the Justice League movie.
Yeah, so he's already done his part in helping defeat Steppenwolf and participating in that horrible movie.
I don't think Justice League was a good movie, but this movie is a good movie, and this movie was a lot better than Justice League, and I think it's like, oh, well, okay, so they can make a good movie that doesn't happen to be done by, I think her name is Patti Smith and Wonder Woman and stuff. So it gives me hope for DC. I'm really excited about it, and I really enjoyed it. It was, the trailer, it looked like it was going to take me to all these interesting and different places. It reminded me a little bit of, in that way, of Thor Ragnarok, in that it was visually
really
appealing colorful and like I got to see a bunch of different things that I'd never seen before and ideas and stuff that I had never considered, and I really liked it.
Yeah, and it was a surprise for me, speaking of the trailer, because leading up to this movie, I just thought it was going to be horrible. Like, I thought the bits they took for each trailer were, I don't know, like a little bit lame, and I just thought it was going to be so bad. But then a movie reviewer, Stephen Gradanis from Decent Films, I heard him on a radio show, and he said he was really interested to see it, and I was like, what? What do you mean you're interested to see it? And he really likes the director, James Wan, and was interested in how he was going to make this film. So that, I was like, I find that intriguing. And then when the early Rotten Tomatoes score came out, it was higher than I expected. Yeah. And then we got there, and I was like, oh, this is a good movie. So I was led astray by the trailers. And
yeah, I was excited about it. Really more hopeful excitement. History suggested to me that they weren't going to pull this off, but I think they did pull it off. Last time I saw Rotten Tomatoes score was around 68. I feel like it deserves higher than that. To me, this movie should be somewhere in the 80s. Like, it was a sprawling...
When it started higher, so it started at 76.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie, and yeah, like, it really makes me excited to see where they can go from here. I like Aquaman as a character. I love the Justice League, just outside of the movie review. I read comics when I was a kid. I watched all the comic movies now as an adult. DC has better superheroes than Marvel. They have Superman, Batman, The Flash. Those are the three of the top four.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, 4 of the top 5, right? You've got those guys, and then you've got Aquaman, and I think that Justice League was super disappointing. For me, it was really flat and boring, and this movie was not.
Here's what I really liked about the movie. Aquaman, the main character, your lead, I was afraid that they were going to paint him into this being kind of a barroom brawler who was sarcastic and cut off from people. But what I saw in this movie is that they had a really good balance of like kind of opening the movie with that kind of character, but seeing him grow and be vulnerable, and he like understood his weaknesses. So, you know, there's a point in the movie where he's like, I'm a blunt instrument, like this is what I do. Like he's a big guy and he's, you know, obviously has these superpowers and can react with force in situations, but he didn't think he was anything more than that. But to say that is a vulnerable thing, to recognize your own weaknesses and to go on a journey that's going to help you grow, to know that you are more than that. I thought they just did a really good job of showing balance with him.
I liked the part in the movie because they kind of played off that idea too when he was in the bar with his dad.
Yeah.
And the bikers come up and was like, "Hey, are you that fish boy?" And he was kind of funny in his response. He was like, "Fish man."
Yeah.
And then it seemed like they were going to fight, and they were like, you know,
they wanted to take a picture with him because like they were like, "Hey, you're really that guy."
Cute. And then it showed like different pictures.
Yeah, it just showed you like a series of pictures where at first he's like, "Don't touch me," and then like apparently the night went on and they had a really good time.
So that's great, and really just that character was super likable. The woman that played Princess Mira, I think her name is Princess Mira.
The
redheaded female opposite in this movie. At first, I was like, she's just weird, and I didn't really like the character, but she also had growth, and I think by the end of the movie, you did kind of feel attachment to her. You could see how he would too, right? Like when she ate that rose, you know, and stuff like that.
I still didn't get it, so that was a miss for me, was the how that character was written or how it was cast. I'm not sure which it was, but for me it was lacking some charisma and I wanted her to be lovable. If she's going to be the love interest, I want her to be lovable. And she had one scene in the movie where she was lovable, and that was it.
Everybody's lovable.
And it wasn't enough for me. I wanted her to be more, so I thought that character fell kind of flat. And then the other thing that fell flat for me was the story of his parents.
It was
first,
more
like Nicole Kidman was
like,
cast very well. Clearly, she is like built to be from Atlantis.
And how about Jango Fett?
Well, and then
being in the movie.
Yeah, like he's the opposite. His Aquaman's dad, the
character
human
that played Jango Fett in the Star Wars prequels, and or the voice to all the clone troopers in the movies and in the cartoons.
Yeah,
it's that guy, and I was like, it's that guy.
To me, I just didn't get though their love. Like I didn't feel their love. Yeah. They told me it was there, and I'll take it. Like. You know,
it was
with a
more
leap
like
of faith.
there just to move the plot along.
Yeah, it was like that. So, but I didn't get why those two people fell in love with each other, because she risked like a ton of stuff to fall in love and do all this. I really want, and it just wasn't there for me. And even it comes back full circle, like at the end, and it still wasn't there. So like those were a couple misses for me on the movie. And then some of the villains, and this is a common thing in superhero movies, right? That whatever big thing happens is big, and there's all this like wild stuff, and
Superman don't show up. That's weird.
I mean, it was huge, and so that was, and the villains were just like they were villains.
Where's the rest of the Justice League?
There was very little like things built out with them. The only thing you had is you had a really great idea and theme, and throughout this movie of mercy, and how Aquaman in the very beginning not being merciful ended up bringing like pain to people that he loved, and then at the end, like the idea of showing mercy to his half brother.
Yeah, I love that. I was certain that he was going to lop that dude's head off at the end of the movie, and he didn't. And that was his half brother, so it was even better. And I love the end of the movie, and that the bad,
it was a really good
guy didn't have to like get his whatever.
And to have all the strength, right? Like, you've casted Aquaman as this, like, tough guy with, like, this long hair and tatted up, and then, but he's merciful, and he embraces that, and to have that, like, as a sign of masculinity and not something that you avoid, or,
Yeah, so I really enjoyed going to see the movie. I was super excited. We went and saw like the first showing we could in IMAX. Definitely go see this movie.
Yeah,
in
definitely
IMAX
go see it in IMAX
if you can, because it's just a sprawling,
visually,
amazing, epic. It's obviously CGI, but it's good CGI, you know.
I have to assume it's the best they can do. Again, at the beginning, they try to make Nicole Kidman and the guy playing, we call Jango Fett, they had to make them look younger. And I was like, oh, they look weird.
So I don't know why when they have a situation like that, it means that they just don't go back in time and get the younger actors.
What the?
Just use a time machine.
Okay.
Huh? Huh? Jason Momoa? Oh, I didn't say it right.
We're excited to see Shazam.
Oh yeah, well,
talk about another one-off that you can just do for fun.
Another DC movie that looks like it's going to be pretty good.
Now, what I'm hoping is not the opposite, because Aquaman trailers, I was like, not going to be good. Shazam trailers look hilarious to me, and so I really hope that it is good.
I think they moved away
from like
wholly from
serious,
Zack
dark,
Snyder's
like
vision, which the best version of Zack Snyder's vision was Batman v Superman. And I thought that was better than Justice League, because at least they went all in on what they were doing. But that wasn't what people wanted, and I don't think it treated the characters correctly. And what they're doing now has completely moved away from that vision, and I'm excited about it, because that's what people want when they want to go see these movies. And you obviously already have the best characters in the world, pretty much. The only one that really rivals the DC characters that we talked about, the top 4 ones, is Spider-Man. And you can just go see Into the Spider-Verse. This is just a superhero bonanza.
All right.
What else?
We're
What else?
All right.
What else do you want to do?